You know, so a guy like that, he's either gonna die in Jacob's trouble or gonna be fuel for the nukes, man. One or two things. All right. So remember, Isaiah 9:5 said this will be with burning and fuel fire. All right. Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague. All right. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord, that's Yahweh, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And who's that? Israelites, us. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Their eyes shall consume away in their holes. Their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Zechariah 14:12. So what weapons do we have today where people, their flesh shall consume away from their, away while they stand upon their feet? Their flesh is going to melt away while they stand upon their feet. Their eyes will consume in their holes. So there's going to be a heat, a destruction that's going to be so that's going to be so powerful. All right, it's going to be so glorious. It's going to be so spectacular. All right, and remember, this is the Lord's. It's the Lord's judgment, man. All right. Okay. So when he sends his son back, all right, when he comes back, they're going to be fighting in World War III, and then they're going to stop fighting, all right, each other, and they're going to try and fight Yahushua, all right, and as we go on, we're going to show you that within 1 hour, the Lord is going to do that, all right, and the Lord is going to allow this place to burn like this. All right, America totally being destroyed. All right, so this is a serious deal. This is not, that they and there's a lot of proof that they are getting ready for all of this stuff. And you can just Google it for yourself, man. They've got underground bunkers, everything there. So that's why we do these videos and try and show the tools of this devil. We're not ignorant to Satan's devices. All right. So he's going to turn, all right, Ezekiel 38:4, all right, he's going to turn them back and put hooks in their jaws, all right, he's going to turn them back to the militant self, which he's doing already, man, all right, and all thine army, horses, bucklers, all clothed with shields, all handling swords, all right, and those swords are going to be what? It's going to be a different war. It's going to be a war of what? Burning and fuel of fire. All right? Burning and fuel of fire, man. All right? Their flesh will consume away from their skin. Their eyeballs melt their sockets. So what weapons can do that now? Nuclear weapons, man. Okay? All right? So this is talking about an army. I remember this army. What does the headline say? All right? Gog and future invasion of Israel. Now, who's in Israel right now? It's them Amalekites, who are Edomites, all right, and them Arabs, who are Ishmaelites, and there's some Israelites intermingled, and other heathens. But let be understood one thing: all of them, they hate our people, man, and they treat them badly, man. All right, whether it's our people in Gaza, all right, and there's a lot of black Iraqis in Gaza, and some of them are Israelites. How many of them are dead, man? How many? But hey, this is a build-up. All right, it's a build-up to a war. All right, this is what this chapter is all about. This is what this breakdown is all about. That's why the map comes in. All right, this place is on fire at the moment. All right, this region here. All right, Gaza's in there, Israel's there. And then up there is Lebanon, man. And right now, as you know, all right, there's been what's it called? A war back and forth. I mean, blowing up pages, man. Blowing up pages. Incredible, man. And it wasn't just Hezbollah leaders that got those. Basically, the Israeli government, the Mossad, all right, had intelligence that was so good. Hezbollah, who's in Lebanon, who's been firing rockets into Israel, all right, and they're mainly Ishmaelites, okay, because of the whole Gaza thing. They booby trapped all of these beepers, all right, which Hezbollah used, but other civilians use them as well. They're quite popular in Lebanon, and they explode. They detonate. So people have lost hands, limbs. Some people have died, and they think this is okay. All right. Yeah, the state of Israel's done that. The state of Israel assassinated one of the leaders of Hamas in Iran. Okay. So this area right now is on fire. All right. So understand what we're dealing with here, man. We're not dealing with the make believe. This is actually going to happen. All right. All right. All right. All right. Verse 5, Ezekiel 35 and 5. All right, and these are other nations that he talks about who are going to be with who? Going to be with Russia, who's going to be allied with people like Armenia, Georgia, all right, Turkey, who's Goma, and Meshach and Tubal, all right. But it also says these nations as well, all right. Ezekiel 35, 38, verse 5, all right. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, it says Persia, and we know who are the Persians today. Iranians, man. All right. Remember, look at the map. All right, Iran, man. That's Iran. All right, and they were Persians, man. All right, all right. The Persian Empire was around this area. Okay. All right. So it says what? It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is who? They're Hamites, they're Cushites, man. And Libya, Libya's where? North Africa. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. There you go. All of them with shield and helmet. So Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, all right, are going to be joining with Russia, with Turkey, all right, Armenia, countries like Georgia as well, all right, mainly former Soviet Union countries, all right. They're gonna be allied with people like Persia, who are Iranians, Ethiopia, all right, and Libya, who are North Africans, man, who are Ishmaelites. All of them with shield and helmet, all right. Goma, verse 6. Goma and all his bands. Some bands means armies. All right. The house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. All right. Now it says the house of Togarmah. Okay. It says the house of Togarmah. And let me say this: the Russians have a lot of interest in these countries that we've spoken about. All right, the Persia, which is Iranians, Ethiopia, and Libya, man. All right, they've got a lot of interest there, man. So we've talked about the reconciliation there. All right, with Turkey. Now, when we talked about the landmass that was Gog, and we said it's in Georgia. All right, and which is just below Russia. And it was in the former Soviet Union. This is just another clue, and the Lord gives you these things. I mean, look at this, man. The Georgia Oil and Gas Limited Company, and you know what they call it for short? They call it GOG. All right, is a British Virgin Islands registered company. All right, focused on the exploration and development of Georgia's hydrocarbon resources and provision of selected oil and gas exploration services within the Republic of Georgia. All right, so that company, all right, is this, and it's in Georgia. And what is its name? GOG. It's called the Georgia Oil Gas Company, basically. So, and they call it GOG for short. All right. See, Gog hits gas in Georgia. All right. All right. Georgia oil and gas. Gog. All right. Hit exploration well on block X1G on the outskirts of Tbilisi, Georgia. You see. So that's another clue that that area is what we're talking about. What Ezekiel Ezekiel the 30th chapter is talking about. All right. It's in that area. All right. That's why I'm keeping this map open. All right. Okay. It doesn't. The area where Gog was around here. All right, and that is Georgia there, and their oil and gas company, they call it Gog. That's the acronym they use. Okay, so it's showing you, man. All right, so all these countries are going to be allied, man. All right, and it says Goma and all his bands. All right, Goma and all his bands. We look at the map. Goma is Turkey, man. All right, Goma, see, it's Turkey. All right, and recently, all right, what has Erdogan been speaking? He's the Turkish president. He said Erdogan seeks Islamic alliance against Israel. All right. Now, why is he saying that? Well, he's saying that recently because they recently put to death over there in Israel. All right. Yeah, it was over there in Israel. They put this. I think it was in the West Bank. Yeah, that's it. The West Bank. They put this Turkish woman to death. All right. She was like a half Turkish, half what was she? Half Turkish and half American citizen. That's it. Yeah, and they put her to death, man. You know. Okay. They put her to death. You know. And drunk. And this guy Erdogan, he spoke about it, and he said, "Look, we need to have an Islamic alliance, you know." Now, I showed you on the map that there's definitely a connection because Turkey, Ethiopia has a dispute with Somalia, all right, and Turkey is basically trying to solve the dispute with them, all right, and the main point to take out of this, all right, there's a dispute.
And the deal will probably also mean more Turkish arms sales to Somalia, which is the Somali army, and the Turkish Navy will be deployed. In this video, we're going to have a look at this new deal, how it fits with Turkey's wider foreign policy ambitions, and whether it makes a regional conflict in the Horn of Africa more or less likely. Before we start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell to stay in the loop and be notified when we release new videos. So let's start by looking at the deal itself. Well, while we don't have the full text just yet, according to Middle East Eye, the agreement, technically called the Framework Agreement for Defence and Economic Cooperation, will last for 10 years and is intended to be developed over time via various protocols. As the name suggests, there's an economic and a military component to the deal. Economically, Turkey is planning to help Somalia develop port facilities and ships to better take advantage of its marine resources. Militarily, the Turkish army will provide training to the Somali army, and the Turkish Navy will be deployed in Somali waters to prevent terrorism, piracy, looting, illegal fishing and smuggling. Turkey is also apparently going to help Somalia develop its own navy, which doesn't exist yet. So, what's the strategic thinking behind this deal? Well, from Turkey's perspective, there's both an economic and a geostrategic rationale. Economically, there have been some reports that Turkey is going to receive 30% of all of Somalia's maritime revenues, which would come mainly from fishing.
Now remember, Somalians are Kushites, and Kushites, Somalians are Kushites. Kushites are Ethiopians. Ethiopians, Somalians, and Eritreans are the same people. All right, but among them, there's Israelites there as well. All right, so it's showing you that Turkey has a business with a
Which
Somalia.
is yet more good news for Turkey's booming defence industry.
See,
Geostrategically,
and they've got a booming defense industry. All right, and the point is that many of these nations here, Iran, all right, Ethiopia, all right, Libya, North Africa, Turkey is which is Goma, all right, is making arms sales with a lot of these countries here. Iran, all right, they have good relations with these countries, and because of that death, I could have shown you the clip, but it doesn't matter. Because of the death of the young protester, she was shot in the head in the West Bank, just doing a protest, man. All right, he said, "Look, we need to make an Islamic alliance." All right, now these nations, a lot of them are Islamic. Okay, Russia has loads of Muslims. All right, they have loads of Muslims. Persia, all right, Persia, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is who? All right, those Kushites, man. Okay, all right. Many Ethiopians are Christian, but some of them are Muslim, etc. Libya, they're mainly Muslim. All right, Goma, which is Turkey, they're mainly Muslim. All right, and now it says Togama. It says Goma, all his bands in his armies. All right, and then it says the house of Togama of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. The house of Togama. All right, and the house of Togama is roughly around. Hang on, where is this map? Near the where is it? We're near the Turkey and Armenian border. All right. Let's see. Get there. Turkey. Yeah, there's Turkey and there's Armenia here. All right. So we're talking about around this area here. All right. That's the house of Togama. Let's see if I've got a different. Trying to see. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. That's a bit better. There you go. The house of Togama. That's around this area here. Turkey and Armenian and Turkey border around here. All right. So that's the house of Togama. Now all of these countries, they're doing deals together, man. Whether it be military deals, trying to rehab good talks, good relations. Okay, all right. And if you look, all right, in this article, this is WashingtonInstitute.org. Russia arms sales, military relationships, paramilitary activity across region remains central to expanding its local influence and boosting its anti-Western strategic interests. And that's true, all right? Because when you go in, and that's talking about Russia, all right, when you go into the prophecy here, we've done this verse 7 here, it says, and this is mainly talking about, all right, let's start from verse 6. Goma and all his bands, which is Turkey, house of Togama, of the north quarters, which is around the Turkey-Armenian border, all right, and many people with thee, all right, verse 7, it says, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company, or your army, that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, all right, and who's that guard unto them, all right? Who's that guard unto them? That guard unto them is Russia, man. Alright? Because remember, the Lord said, look, set my face against Gog and the land of Magog. Alright? Okay? And when you go down in verse, okay, it tells you all of the other nations that are going to be with them. Alright? So with what's it called? Russia, will be Armenia, will be Turkey, will be Iran, will be Ethiopia, maybe even Somalia because they're Kushites as well. You don't know. Libya, which Turkey have, what's it called? There was two warlords fighting over Libya. Turkey has a deal with one of them. All right. Goma, which is Turkey as well. All right, and all his bands, and the House of Togama, which is near the Turkey-Armenian border of the North Cause, and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right, all right. So this is the one Magog. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Alright, be a guard unto them. And who is that guard that is talking about? That guard is Russia, because Russia backs a lot of these smaller countries like Syria. Remember the Syrian war? Alright, remember that? Okay? And look at Russia's influence now. Alright? Russia is, I mean, look, Africa Center for Strategic Studies. Russia's influence, whether it be military or jobs. And let me say this. People say, oh, this is terrible, this, that, and the other. At least they're giving something. All right? Listen, you might say this is one colonialism for another, And in a way, a lot of times it is like that because your debt racks up. All right? But it's some of these places, a lot of these places, it's deals for minerals and therefore they swap it with intelligence, and therefore they give them military equipment, but they can have mining. So it's something for something, or they build infrastructure. Do you get what I mean? Like China has a lot of influence and so forth. Okay, but Russia's a big influence in Africa and a huge influence in this area of the Middle East because it's gonna be what's it called? It's gonna. Oh yeah, and this is what, if you go Togama, I put on this on Google. Togama is Armenia. All right, Togama is among the descendants. All right, of anyway, that doesn't matter. Where did it say? It said Togama was the legendary ancestor of several peoples of the Caucasus. Armenians, including Georgians. See, so that Turkey-Russia border, Turkey, Russia, Armenia kind of border, where the Caucasus are. All right, that's the House of Togama. They're gonna be with Gog and Magog. All right, and all these other nations. All right, but Magog is gonna be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company, and be assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And the best example I can give you that Russia is a guard unto them is what they did in Russia. What Syria helped by Russians. And Russia has a military base over there. Alright. Syria and Russia ally. Yes, Russia enjoys a historically strong, stable, and friendly relationship with Syria. Alright? As it did with most countries within the Arab world until the Arab Spring. Russia's only Mediterranean naval base for the Black Sea Fleet is located in the Syrian port city of Tartus. So, see, Russia came into that war with Syria when Syria was having problems, with ISIS and all these people, and they bombed the hell out of the place. All right. So the other Edomites, the Western ones, all right, they can't just run up into these countries anymore like they did before, because Russia has got so many links with these other countries, and these other countries used to be really weak, but now they've got a lot of weapons and technology, Oh, that's good. Let me get a precept for that. That's in Joel 3. Okay. Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Alright. Alright, let's start with 9. Alright, Joel 3, verse 9. Alright, it's talking about World War 3. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Alright, and we're Israelites. We're not Gentiles. We were Gentiles because we never knew who we were. But now we're woken up. We're Israelites, man. Alright, proclaim ye. It says this is talking about the heathens. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men men of war draw near. Let them come up. Alright. Alright. Verse 10. Joel 3 and 10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. And swords and spears are things made for war. Alright. Let the weak say, I am strong. Alright. So this is talking about those weak nations. Alright. Alright. Those weak nations are now strong. You know why? Because many of those so-called weak nations, they've got nuclear weapons, man. Okay. Acts of normality, I'm sure. Russia arms sales. There you go. Let's look at their arms sales. Yeah, arms imports from Russia to the MENR region. All right, and this has got countries that are Algerian, Libya. Libya's there. Remember, it does say Libya, and Libya is 75%. So Russia has given 75% to Libya because it's a failed state, because the white man destroyed it and took out Gaddafi. And they're selling Israelites there, and they're selling Hamites there as well, man. Them Arabs, they hate anything dark, you know. All right, but they're selling weapons to them, to Egypt as well. Look, to Turkey and Turkey's Goma as well, to Syria. All right, to Iran. Okay, and that's a big amount, man. Iran there, look, Syria. So boys, and some of these countries are listed here. All right, so they're a guard onto these countries, like Iran. You know, the one. I mean, Israel. If they start messing with Russia, something's gonna happen where the Russians are gonna be full throttle against Israel. All right. And these nations are going to be with them, okay? The Ethiopians, the Libyans, you know, all right? The Gomans, you know, who are today people in Turkey, all right? And in people in Armenia, you know, and Georgia, you know, and the Turkey border. They're all going to be allied with who? Russia, all right? But they're going to be a guard onto them, all right? And all thy company that are assembled unto them, and be thou a guard unto them. And they have been a guard unto them. The Western, see, that's the reason why the West hasn't gone into Ukraine. All they've done is give Zelensky, all right, no troops, just weapons for Ukraine. See, no, not just weapons. Ukrainians are facing dire shortage. See, all NATO and America are doing are supplying them with weapons, but they're not supplying them with men. There are some idiot volunteers that are going there, all right, but the reason why they have not put American troops there, because they don't want to be in direct contact with Russia. All right. The reason why they invented Syria I mean ISIS, to take down Bashar al-Assad and all these other rebel groups, it was the Mossad and CIA and all these wicked and British institutions that were all paying these jihadis, and it failed. It backfired because the Russians came in, all right, and bombed the hell out of Syria, all right, their own citizens, man. You know, there was a hospital that was taking care of people in a rebel area, I think it was, and the Russians would ring them, all right, ring that hospital and tell them, evacuate that hospital in 1 hour, we're gonna bomb it, all right, and that's what kept their president Bashar al-Assad in power, man. All right. See how the Middle East became an arena for Putin's power struggle with the US. See, so there's a lot of and out of that, Syria helping Bashar al-Assad, they have now a naval base there stationed. Okay, now why is that? Because the Lord is waiting for something's gonna happen, man. All right. So Israel is there, and look at Syria, yeah. And guess what? Hey, this devil, this devil, Donald Trump, when he was the governor, when he was the president, he told American troops to go into Syria, and they did, and he stayed there, and they've got a base in Syria without the Syrians' permission. I kid you not, man. All right. See, so this is the coalition that's going to go against. So we've gone up to verse 7. All right. But this is the coalition. The coalition. All right. That is going to go. All right. Against America, man. All right. And their allies, man. Okay. And there's more. There's a lot more that we can show and prove that these are all connecting the dots, arm sales, maps of influence, ancient names, today's names, all right. So I think we've done a decent job for this first installment of the breakdown of Ezekiel 38 chapter. I didn't want to. I know it went on a bit too long. But I'm gonna come back, and we're in verse 8, so we'll be like 2 more videos, and we'll be done, complete, But the arm sales is there, everything is there. Even the gas company is called GOG. Okay, so hey, the Lord is moving, man. Okay, all right, the Lord is moving, so His prophecies are moving. It's up to us to catch up with Him, man. All right, and there's a lot of stuff that is going on in that area.
The missiles and
Hezbollah in Lebanon and Israel are fighting a war.
For Hezbollah, not only did they fire a vast number of rockets, but they fired them further south, deeper into Israel than ever before. Now, they didn't actually hit any major cities, which would have risked widening and escalating this war even further, but many hope it will be just enough for them to sugarcoat as a performative act of retribution after what has been a humiliating week of exploding pages and murdered senior commanders. A leader killed, a movement wounded. They came in their thousands to mourn the loss of Ibrahim Akil, a senior Hezbollah commander in charge of the arm responsible for cross-border operations into Israel.